Welcome to Deep Thought. Staying true to yourself brings happiness. I'm going to tell you what. From the moment we are born, we have a mission. We have a mission. You know, in African traditional religion, it might be called an incarnation objective. My AME, African Methodist Episcopal great-grandfather would say everybody have a destiny. We're here for a reason. You know, so when we are born, we actually have the tool to really succeed in life, because whatever we are born here, whatever our personality is, that's what the thing we would be good at. You know, and that's deeper. It's our mindset. It's how we're built. It's the things that we like naturally, not what culture, not what our education, not what the media, politicians, even our parents tell us, but what we naturally gravitate towards. But see, one of the things is we're forced to put on masks out here. We're forced to put on masks because you got all these forces, including your parents, telling you, well, you know, you might have an inclination or you might feel a pull towards a certain something, but they try and tell you to do something else. You know, you've had people who will go and become doctors and attorneys, and you know, they'll make some money, but that's not really who they are. Or get in corporate America or take a certain career path, you know, and usually it's because other people said it. Like people say, well, you're smart, you're supposed to be an attorney. And he was just like, no, they ain't really them. You know, they ain't really them. They more creative. You know, it's like they more creative. They should have got into something. Now, I've never really discussed, what I have my advanced degree in, and I will one day. Reason I don't is I'll just say there's a slight legal complication with it. I'll just say that and leave it at that. But what I did, it really wasn't me. Oh, yeah, I had some intelligence. Could have been engaged in a living in it. In fact, did engage in a living in it for a while. But then what I was built for is what I'm doing now. You know, being able to reach people, being able to counsel them, having a type of personality that could deal with people's different quirks and even help them to overcome some stuff, right? That's true to myself. Being in media was true to myself. If I was true to myself, I would have jumped in media like right away. Maybe even majored in some type of media even in college if I was true to myself. But see, you know, I took a slightly different path and yeah, made some differences, was able to do some things, but it didn't have that level of happiness. But because I wasn't true to myself. Now I have that level of happiness, and I was like, you know, I love doing this. I would say I love doing what I do. And it's the most lucrative thing I've ever done in life, because it was not just bringing me personal happiness, but it was also bringing me money. You know, and that's the ultimate thing, to do what you love for money. But I had to be true to myself first. I had to get rid of a lot of things. I had to get rid of a lot of attitudes. One thing I had to get into was that inherent need to be a part of the community. You know, we all have that. And that's another thing that gets us caught up. We want to do stuff to, you know, fit into the community. Well, first, please our parents. Please those they love. They'll say, hey, you should do this. You'll be great at it and stuff. And, you know, sometimes you get caught into it because it's hard to go against it. Because, look, think about something. Think about those people who do try to be true to themselves for their own happiness. You know, you can get somebody well-meaning and say, oh, well, you know, you should be working at the post office. Nothing against people who do, but, you know, I've heard that, you know, or you should get this job. This is what you should be doing. And, you know, they not doing it out of meanness or anything, because they caught up in that same, like, mask as well. that same matrix as well, you know. And you always have somebody. I mean, it could be in school. How many times have we heard about people who end up becoming rich and they say, well, you know, a counselor in school said most I could do is be a janitor, or that I would fail. In fact, almost every person I've seen, when they talk about their level of success, they'll say, this person said I wouldn't be able to do it. You know, you've had geniuses, certified geniuses in history where people say this person wouldn't amount to much. I've heard it. So, you know, you get all of these forces trying to get you to follow their agenda. But the only way that you can truly have happiness is stay close to your agenda. What do you want? You know, I've known of people who have been doctors, attorneys, engineers, accountants, and they'll leave those high-paying jobs, those high-paying careers, just to do something, maybe childcare, maybe open a school, maybe do lawn care. And some people it's like, oh, why would they do that and all of that? Because that's what they enjoy doing. You know, I enjoy being creative. Like I said, I see people, I could be making the same amount of money, even more, doing something else more in line with my education. I could be, but would I be happy? Would I be stressed? Because one thing I remember when I got into publishing full time, a lot of my stress fell off. A whole lot of stress that I had fell off. It fell off. It was like just totally different. Like people who seen the before, and you know, before I was able to publish full time to the after, they said they saw a difference. But that's because in publishing I was true to myself. There were times I would be like, just sit back and I started laughing. I say, wow, I'm getting paid to do something I love, you know? And that's, everybody got to do that, even in relationships. You know, a lot of times people trying to tell you who you should deal with when you feel like you should deal with someone else. I've seen that a lot. A woman might meet a guy who, you know, she's everything, they click and everything, but the family's like, well, he ain't the right class. He ain't the right religion. He ain't the right race or something, you know? And so they'll deal with the mask, but then end up, you know, miserable, you know, because that's the ultimate thing. Now, you can see, the thing is, like my kids, I don't tell them what to do. Like, I ask them, and I don't care what they say. I just say, oh, okay, keep working on it. Even if it's something like seemingly out of the way, I'll just say I'll let them figure it out, because it has to be what they feel, and I'll be supporting them until they can do it, you know. And I've said that to a lot. That's like, you got to do what you feel, you know. You got to stay true to yourself in every aspect of your life. You know, you can't worry about what somebody else is trying to get you to do or trying to force you to do, because that's on them. That's their agenda. You got to stay true to yourself. And I've seen it. Like I said, I've been in positions. I could say, you know, it looked good society-wise, but inside I was like, this is lousy. Like, I remember I knew a young lady, and she was in the undergrad of the place I went for my advanced degree, right? And, oh, man, sometimes she'd sit down and just show me her report card. She would show it to me. She would say, look at all these A's, Ron. Oh, she was highly intelligent. And I remember when she graduated, I saw her downtown, and she just looked so miserable. She was working for a major accounting firm, and the level of miserable she looked was crazy. I mean, she just looked, really? But then we reconnected a few years later on Facebook. And she's now doing the stuff that she loved, and it's nothing but smiles. You just see the glow on her face. Even in a picture, you just see the glow. It's an incredible glow. It's incredible, because she's doing now, what she does now is totally in line with who she was anyway. Because she had gone through life, because I had met her parents. And her parents, you know, they had their idea. They was always pushing her along. But now when she got totally free, it was like, boom, night and day. So stay true to yourself. That's the key to bringing happiness. So that's all we have for today. I'll talk to y'all. Peace.